Your chest tightens without warning, your breath feels trapped, and suddenly your mind begins to race with one terrifying thought. What if this is it? What if something is seriously wrong? What if this moment changes everything you thought you had control over? Because in that instant, the line between fear and danger feels invisible, and your body doesn't give you a clear answer. It only sends signals that feel overwhelming, confusing, and deeply personal. And this is where most people begin to panic, not because they are weak, but because they are human. And the truth is that millions of people around the world have felt this exact moment, where the heart pounds so loudly it feels like it's trying to escape the chest, where the hands grow cold, the body feels unsteady, and the mind becomes a battlefield of worst-case scenarios. Yet very few people truly understand what their body is trying to say. And this lack of understanding creates even more fear, because when you don't know whether it's a heart attack or anxiety, every second feels heavier, every sensation feels dangerous, and every thought becomes amplified. But here's the reality that most people never take the time to learn. Your body speaks in patterns, not chaos, and even in the middle of panic, there are clues, subtle but powerful differences that can guide you toward clarity instead of confusion. Yet we often ignore these clues because fear is louder than logic and panic is faster than reason. And that is exactly why awareness becomes your greatest strength. Because when you understand what is happening inside you, you take back control from the fear that tries to convince you that everything is falling apart. And instead of being trapped in uncertainty, you begin to observe, to question, and to slowly regain a sense of grounding that reminds you that not every intense feeling is a sign of immediate danger, even when it feels like it is. As the intensity rises, something deeper begins to unfold inside you, because the body does not just react randomly, it follows signals shaped by biology and emotion. And when you start paying attention closely, you notice that a heart attack often builds with a heavy, crushing pressure that does not easily fade, a sensation that may spread into the arm, the jaw, or the back, accompanied by shortness of breath that feels physical and persistent rather than fleeting, while anxiety, though equally powerful in sensation, tends to surge like a wave, rising suddenly with rapid heartbeat, dizziness, tingling, and an overwhelming sense of fear that feels immediate and urgent, but can shift or reduce when the mind is redirected or the body is calmed. And yet in the moment, both can feel identical because fear amplifies every signal, making your chest tighter, your breathing shallower, and your thoughts louder. And this is where the real struggle begins, not just in the body but in the mind, because uncertainty feeds panic, and panic creates a loop where the symptoms become stronger simply because you are afraid of them. And this is the hidden trap that keeps people stuck, constantly questioning whether they are safe or in danger. And while knowledge gives you awareness, it also gives you responsibility, because recognizing patterns means you can respond instead of react, you can pause instead of spiral. But at the same time, there is a critical truth you must never ignore. Your body is not your enemy. It is your messenger, and sometimes that message is urgent. Sometimes it is emotional, but it is always important. And this is why learning the difference is not about dismissing fear. It is about respecting it while also understanding it. Because the moment you begin to see the distinction, you create space between sensation and interpretation. And in that space lies your power, your ability to stay present, to breathe through uncertainty, and to choose clarity over chaos, even when everything inside you is demanding immediate answers. And in that moment of awareness, something changes within you, because you begin to realize that your greatest strength is not in never feeling fear, but in understanding it, in learning how to listen to your body without immediately assuming the worst. Because life will always present moments where your heart races and your breath shortens, but not every moment is a signal of danger. Sometimes it is a signal that your mind is overwhelmed, that your thoughts are running faster than your reality, and when you accept this, you step into a new level of control, a place where you are no longer a victim of every sensation, but an observer who can respond with clarity. Yet at the same time, this awareness comes with a responsibility that cannot be ignored, because while anxiety can mimic danger, a real heart attack demands immediate attention, and the courage you need is not just to stay calm, but to act wisely, to seek help when symptoms persist, to trust the signs that do not fade, because ignoring them can cost you far more than fear ever could. And this is the balance you must learn, the balance between calmness and caution, between understanding and action, because your life depends on both. And when you truly embrace this mindset, you stop living in constant fear of your body and start building a relationship with it, one based on trust, awareness, and respect, where every signal becomes information instead of panic, every moment becomes an opportunity to ground yourself, and every breath becomes a reminder that you are still here, still in control, and still capable of making the right choice when it matters most. So never dismiss what you feel, never ignore what your body is trying to tell you, because awareness can save your life and fear, when understood, can become the very thing that protects you instead of paralyzing you. So pay attention, stay informed, and above all, don't ignore these signs. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.